and another person reacts a different way. And I think that's important for the listeners to pay attention, that you've got to learn to respond to situations,
right,
and not react.
Yes.
You're reacting, you're caught off guard. But when you respond is, I'm taking responsibility for this.
Yes.
This is something that God wouldn't put on me if he didn't know I could handle it.
You know, there was a lesson, and we had a big event that weekend. A big urban was on the stage, did a great training. That was Saturday. Sunday, we got the call about our goddaughters coming home from spring break, and 18 and 19, and they were killed in a car crash.
I heard, yes, I remember that.
And the call that I got from Stacy, and I was there with her on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I came home. So I hadn't seen, I saw him every day, but I hadn't been home because he would come over to Stacy's. But the point that I want to make is this. Thursday, when I saw him, we went to view the girl's body, and he came in and he said, I'm going to do a home party. He and Chris Oliver went to do a home party. And so he got home that night. Friday was Good Friday. And when I slid out of bed to get the candles and all that, I was the person to take care of the visual for the girls in the park. And so when I got out of the shower, went to the bed to wake him up, and I couldn't get him awake, and my neighbor came over. But immediately, as I put myself together, it was a blur, but I looked up and I saw seemingly 100 people in the house, just like that.
Wow.
And I walked to the front door, and there were people all in our yard, all down the street. I kid you not, it seemed like it was just in minutes.
Wow.
And at that moment, I'm like,
this guy's special. And he was.
100%.
Yeah.
And so I remember starting to pray. I was speaking in tongues, and it was an out of body experience, honestly. And when things started to come back, I told everyone, I said, we got to get the girls buried tomorrow. And we're going to do that. And then we're going to deal with Irwin. And so everybody's like, I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm going to be in the park. Absolutely, I'm going to make sure I do my part. And what are you made of? Right?
Toughness.
Yeah. What are you made of? And it's just a decision.
You have a tremendous amount of emotional strength. And that's rare. It's rare in men. It's rare in women to go through that and still say, hey, okay, this is what needs to be done. That's absolutely remarkable. Adversity. One thing I've learned: adversity reveals who's really in your circle, right? And it also reveals who does not need to be in your circle as well. And I think after that, I think you the relationships that you had started to blossom, and some relationships that needed to die off, they also died off as well. How important has that been in your career, and even now where you are today? You're having tremendous amount of success. I mean, I've heard the numbers and the amount of people that are having success in your company. How have building the right type of relationships, how has that served you over the last 20 plus years?
Relationship building is very key, because the type of business that we're in any business, it's about people.
Right.
You don't have a business if you don't have people. And when you are genuine, regardless to what is happening, the universe is going to give you what you deserve.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've always wanted to treat people, with kindness and treat people special. I learned early in my career that I just didn't want commission friends. Only if you're in my business are we going to be able to be great.
Now, how you do that when they do you wrong, when they talk about you and all that good stuff? How do you stay kind?
The thing of it is, and I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Right. Sometimes I have to show my Hillwood side, right? But I experienced something shortly after Erwin passed away with some very close friends. And ended up, in lawsuits and just some things that was just not what I expected.
Wow.
But when I think about who my husband was and what he taught me, that you don't be surprised by much, and make sure that your expectations are what they are. Right? Don't have these high expectations, because people are human, and as humans, we have faults, and we're not always doing the right thing. It comes with the territory. Sure. But nevertheless, I think relationships have been the key to the success that we've had. And I tell people that it's not what I have done in the 7 years that I've been with this company. It's who I was when my mother had me at 14, and my grandmother sending my mom to New York to give me up for adoption, and my mom at 14 having the fortitude to get out of school and go write letters for the elderly and earn money so that she could catch a Greyhound bus from New York to Louisiana. Right? And just as a young mom, having that motherly wit that really, shaped who I am as a person with wisdom and understanding and forgiveness and all of those things that's a part of your success. So 7 years, almost 7 years here with this company, but I've always been a child that love people. I've always been, very kind to others. I smile a lot,
you do.
Because, my dad would always say, hey, you got to put your smile on. And so I smiled a lot. And part of that, David, was because I knew I had to do a little bit more. Growing up in Louisiana, I'm a chocolate girl, coarse hair, everybody else was fair skinned with good hair, and we were prejudiced even amongst ourselves.
Right.
So I had to just do a little bit more, to get to where I needed and wanted to be. But because I had that genuine love of people, and I understood how to build real relationships, and people do business with people they like.
They do.
And when you smile at people, you get a smile back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we got Twyla Portis here, incredible entrepreneur, leader, mother. You have an incredible son. You have any more kids other than your son?
No, that's
okay.
it.
Just him. Okay.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. And how old is he now?
21. He'll
21.
be 22
Okay.
next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool deal. Great kid. I had a chance to meet him a couple of times, and I know he's doing some great things as well. But as we wrap up here, is there anything else you want to share with the folks that are listening? I'm sure they've gotten so much. I've gotten a lot from it. This interview. Is there anything you want to share with them, just based on from your experience and moving forward for 2021? What would you say would be important for Believe Nation to really take away from today?
With so much that's going on in our world today, so many distractions, or what could be distractions. The key for me and what I'm taking out of 2020 into 2021 is to run my own race, right? To be true to who I am. And I don't worry about what's happening to my right, what's happening to my left. I visit my goals daily. I look at my decisions daily, and I don't veer off from that. regardless to what else is going on. And when you start to, oh, well, let me do this, or let me go do that, or let me do like this person, let me, and you start doing all that, that means that you don't have a clear-cut vision to where it is that you're going. Right. And who you really are. And I think that that's a big deal today. That because we get to look into the lives of so many people, all the stars, the entertainers, and everybody, and we get to look into their lives, and then we forget to run our own life, and to follow our dreams and goals and stay on our course or on our path. And sometimes when we do that, we start to compare our weakness to somebody else's strength.
True.
You're in phase 10 and someone else is looking and saying, well, I'll never be able to be that or do that. Well, hell, you in phase 1. Mm-hmm. So it's just really stay authentic and follow your dreams and goals. Yeah. I believe that you can get them accomplished.
Awesome. I think what you're talking about there is people having an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Looking at other people's lives and wanting what's not for them.
Yes.
Instead of learning, right? Yes. Learning from them is very different from learning and wanting what it is that they have. Yeah. And I think if you get clear on who you are and become aware of who is actually inside of you, I think it'll make it a whole lot easier to run your race.
Yeah.
For me, it's been 16 years as an entrepreneur, and it's funny to listen to you talk. A lot of the things that you've gone through, similar things that I've gone through, to get to where it is that we are today. And now it's about how can we serve other people.
Yes.
Right. And that's why we created this platform, Twyla.
Yeah.
And made it completely free for the world to get this information and get in contact with people like yourself and go out there and make a difference. We are going to impact the lives of 1 billion people. We're going to do it. And it's going to be through other people learning this information, going out there, applying it, and it working in their lives, and now they can go out and teach it to the world. So I want to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
I had a great time.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
This is fun.
I think I found a new career.
Yeah.
Right? I think I could do this. Yeah. But yeah, definitely appreciate you so much for coming on, taking the time. You're very busy, for coming on and sharing with everybody. I'm sure they're going to love it. I'm sure they'll love the replay that will be available here shortly. But Twyla, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, David. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. All righty. Take care, guys. We'll see you next week. Thursday. It is going to be absolutely incredible. This is also going to be a weekend of giving as well, because on Sunday, we're going to have the I Believe Foundation Gala, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Start planning for it now. We're going into 2021 very, very fast. This is the year of acceleration. Don't miss it. January the 8th, 9th, and 10th. I'm going to be there. We're going to have some incredible leaders. They're going to be there as well. Don't miss the VIP night. Don't miss the I Believe experience. And definitely join us for a night of giving and sharing with the world at the I Believe Foundation. I'll see you guys, all right? Love you. Believe Nation. Take care. Hey, Believe Nation, it's David Imonitie again. Super excited to announce that the I Believe experience is finally happening. We've got our VIP night on the 8th of January. Then we've got the Believe experience. The I Believe experience is going to happen on Saturday. It is going to be absolutely incredible. This is also going to be a weekend of giving as well, because on Sunday, we're going to have the I Believe Foundation Gala, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Start planning for it now. We're going into 2021 very, very fast. This is the year of acceleration. Don't miss it. January the 8th, 9th, and 10th. I'm going to be there. We're going to have some incredible leaders. They're going to be there as well. Don't miss the VIP night. Don't miss the I Believe experience. And definitely join us for a night of giving and sharing with the world at the I Believe Foundation. I'll see you guys, all right? Love you. Believe Nation. Take care. Hey, Believe Nation, it's David Imonitie again. Super excited to announce that the I Believe experience is finally happening. We've got our VIP night on the 8th of January. Then we've got the Believe experience. The I Believe experience is going to happen on Saturday. It is going to be absolutely incredible. This is also going to be a weekend of giving as well, because on Sunday, we're going to have the I Believe Foundation Gala, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Start planning for it now. We're going into 2021 very fast. This is the year of acceleration. Don't miss it. All right, Believe Nation, David Imonitie here. Super excited to be back with you guys. What an amazing week. It's been an amazing month already in the month of December. And we are right now at the very beginning of 2021. You know, every time there's an end, there's a new beginning that is about to take place. So I'm really pumped up for 2021. I'm really excited for today's show, so to speak. Believe Nation Live. I know people are watching on BelieveNationLive.com. People are watching BelieveNation.live. People are watching on Instagram. They're watching on YouTube. So many different platforms that we're actually streaming on right now. And we're excited. We're excited about what's happening in Believe Nation. It's growing every single day. More people are really getting the knowledge, getting the understanding, getting the encouragement, the inspiration, the motivation that they need to really make 2020 and 2021 the greatest years of their lives. So I'm really excited to be back with you guys. And guys, listen, we've got a major event that's happening January the 8th. We're kicking it off with the VIP night. That is already completely sold out. As a matter of fact, we had some tickets open up because our international Believe Nation members citizens can't at that time probably come into the country. So we had a few VIPs open up, and the moment we opened up, it actually sold out right away again. But the main day, ladies and gentlemen, because the VIP night is going to be a dinner, maybe a Q&A, get a chance to meet and greet. But the main training day, it's really January the 9th, okay? That is the I Believe experience. That's the training day, ladies and gentlemen. That's where I'm going to be teaching literally from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on everything when it comes to believing and achieving the goals that you have for this year that's coming up. I'm literally going to pour out everything that I've learned over the last 16 years, all the successes, all the failures. I'm going to pour all of that into that one-day training. You do not want to miss it. There are probably a few tickets left right now because of being the international brothers and sisters can't make it. But go ahead and get your tickets right away if you haven't done that already. This is not an event that you want to miss. And we already have the social distancing already in place. All the protocols will be followed. You are definitely going to be in a safe environment, but it's going to be an uplifting environment. It is going to be off the chain. All right. And then Sunday is going to be a night of giving and receiving. And I know a lot of you are going to come ready to give. And I know a lot of you are going to come looking absolutely amazing in your tuxes and your gowns. And we might have to see who's the best dressed that night as well. But it's really going to be about giving, and it's going to be about receiving that night as well. So we're kicking off 2021 with a major bang. And, you know, guys, it's all about getting the word out. And one of the ways you can do that is with the merchandise that we have. We have incredible merchandise. The team is doing an incredible job bringing out new products. So whether it's a t-shirt or a hat or a hoodie while you're working out, go ahead and get your Believe Nation merch, ladies and gentlemen. And as people ask you, what's Believe Nation? Or they ask you, man, what is that a lion? They ask you questions. You let them know, hey, you want to be a part of this belief and achievement platform
that we have actually put together. We're excited because we're expanding the platform to 7 different pillars. All right. What we've done over the last few years is that we've done some studying, and we found out that these 7 different areas of our lives really control our lives. And if we can learn how to master it, if we can learn how to really develop in these 7 areas, we can have an incredible, incredible life right here on earth. While there's chaos in the world, while there's all this tribulation that's happening in the world right now, whether it's the health crisis, whether it's the financial crisis, maybe you've got crisis in your home. There is a way for you to actually live the life that you truly want to deserve, regardless of what's going on outside of your home, regardless of what's going on in your home. Things can change for you right away. And that's what this event coming up in January is going to be all about. That's what Believe Nation is all about as well. It's helping you develop in these 7 different areas. And today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, is someone that I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for. This woman is a powerhouse. That's what she is. Point blank, period, end of story. From the very first time I heard of her. You know, I actually hadn't met her. I had heard of her. All right. That's when you know someone's really powerful. And it was just great reviews that I heard about her, not just her business acumen, but really the woman of God that she is, the wife that she is, the mother that she is. And I'm so glad that she took the time to actually join us on Believe Nation Live here today. She's an amazing, amazing woman, and she's going to be diving into some things today that I believe are not only going to help women, but they're also going to help men as well, because I think there's this misconception out there that it's different for women. I don't necessarily buy into that. You know, God created male and female at the same time. And so he gave male and female the ability to dominate. And that's why she's dominating on this earth today in her space. Just incredible things. I'll let her kind of share some of the things that she's involved in right now. But incredible businesswoman and philanthropist, you know, preacher. She probably could sing, all the above, right? But we've got Jewel Tankard. Jewel, thank you so much for joining. How are you doing today?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing so good. You look great in this whole platform. I mean, it's giving me life. So amazing. I wouldn't expect anything less, okay? Thank you for having me.
You know, I know you're used to this because you've had your own TV show. And, you know, I know this is nothing new for you. This is very new for me, but I appreciate you actually saying that as well. But Jewel, we're going to dive into one of the pillars of Believe Nation, which is emotional strength. We're going to dive into that here in a second. But I want the viewers, if they don't know you already, I want them to get a chance to know, who is Jewel Tankard? Where did she come from? And how did she become the woman that she is today?
Well, let's see. I love life. I'm grateful. God has taught me to really, really practice gratitude. David, you talk a lot about gratitude, but born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and my parents were the first African Americans to actually have a business downtown Detroit. And so mommy and daddy were like my first real example as a power couple. They've been married for 51 years this year. Shout out. Yay. And, you know, I saw them do amazing things in business. My dad had a chain of record stores at the time. And so
Hey guys, what is up? I'm Gaviota Rivera and I'm super excited to be here at the I Believe Experience 2021. As you can see, there's a lot of commotion here because this is going to be a very big event. We're going to have guest speakers, a lot of conversations that are super important to be the best version of yourself this year and moving forward. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that we're going to be asking some interview questions to see what is going on today. But before then, we want to show you our website where you can connect with us. Now, on this have one of the people that are attending the event today, and I want to go ahead and ask you, is this the first time that you come to an event like this?
No.
No?
This is my second time at the Believe Nation event.
And what is it that brought you here once again?
I think it's the energy, and I think the results that I got from the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you learned a lot of important and valuable things, right?
Not only learned, was able to apply it, and it showed in my life afterwards.
Of course.
Yeah.
And can you actually share with the people that are connecting one of the things that you learned and that you want to share with others?
I think the biggest thing is for us as individuals to realize who we are as people. We're actually spirits, you know, instead of physical man. And I think we should start operating as gods instead of, you know, who we are right now. And that was the biggest thing, is like to wake up and realize that you're actually a god, and you can do anything that you set your heart to. Anything you speak is actually going to come.
And I guess that also comes from a place of confidence, right? And believing in yourself,
that's the
believing
major
that you have the power and the capability to accomplish the things that you want, right?
Yes, that's the biggest thing, having self-confidence too. And he speaks on that, like he touched on that the first event for so long that it stuck in your head to have self-confidence. But yeah.
Now, I know this is a one-time event that happens periodically, but of course there has to be some sort of action that you have to take to continue to be consistent with the things that you learn here today. So what are some tips of people that have come before, or maybe that are coming in new, that you would want to share with them to be consistent?
Well, if you're coming in and you're taking the information, it's really about going and apply it. But when you're applying it, you're doing it every single day, day in and day out. But you're writing down what you want in the future. You know, so that's the major thing that anybody that's coming in now, really take this information and apply it and write down what it is you want. You know, and it's actually going to happen once you write it down.
Of course, and there's also a lot of boss ladies in the room, and I would like to go ahead and ask a couple of questions to some of the empowering women here today. So I know being a woman and being in business and having goals, and in today's day it is very difficult. Can you share with the women that are attending the event today some things that you've learned? I mean, is it your first time?
This is actually my second time.
Your second? Okay, perfect. So what are some things that you can share with other women that, you know, want to be and feel more empowered?
Man, this event was everything. Well, it's going to be everything for the second time, but to feel empowered, like from here, what I got was a sense of an increase in my belief and a sense of confidence. It went to a whole nother level since last event. My business went to another level, but in order to do it, you got to do it. In order to change something, you have to change something and change who you're around to change your situation. So I'm looking forward to this event.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with the mentality that you have, and I think that is the main thing that this event really focuses on, and believing in yourself and really changing how you think about yourself from day to day, right?
Absolutely.
So what are some cues that you tell yourself every day to stay motivated?
I'm so happy and grateful now. So you got to speak that thing into existence. You have to see it before you see it. It's just a matter of time before things start to manifest. And I've learned that from David. I was a believer before David, you know, but he just put the stamp on it. And it is so real. So if you're not at this event, make sure you make it to the next event. But this event is everything. This movement is absolutely everything. And I'm just so glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I hear that there's going to be incredible guest speakers, including Michelle Williams.
I'm looking
How do you
forward to
feel
that.
about that?
I'm looking forward to Michelle Williams. I'm a huge fan of Michelle's. I'm looking forward to her being here and several other celebrities that goes unannounced.
Yes.
So it's going to be an epic weekend. So if you're not here, you want to get here, or definitely make it to the next event.
Of course, and all of you guys that are not here today, you also can be staying connected online. And thank you so much for your words. I know that there's a couple of people as well that want to give their insight, so if you can come right over. Pass the mic. Perfect.
How you doing?
So I am doing well. What's your name?
My name is Mr. Vic.
Nice to meet you. Well, welcome to the event. And is this your first time? I need to ask because there's a lot of people that are coming back the second year.
Yeah, this is my first time.
Perfect. And what made you come back?
Well, this is my first event. I've been watching David online on YouTube, so to see him where he at, the team and the organization he's building, it made me excited. Like, you know what, I want to go meet that guy, and I feel like he can help take my leadership to the next level.
Yeah, and what are some things and qualities that obviously you saw in him, but you also want to implement in yourself, in your business?
Just believing, right? Everything that you do is a mindset. So I believe it's two types of leaders. It's leaders that are born and it's leaders that you can make. Anybody can become a leader, but if you're a born leader, there's something, a situation, experience that you're going to have to go through in life to bring that leadership and bring that belief out of you, right? So I know that coming to this event is not what I get from this event, is what I take and take home and actually put action into, right? And take my belief system to the next level.
And I know there's not a lot of people that maybe think this way. There's a lot of circumstances that people go through in life that make it hard for them to believe in themselves.
That's true.
Right? So looking at the camera and looking at all those people that are connecting right now, what can you say as an advice to all those people that are going through hard times? And how can they really believe in themselves?
You know what? I'm reading a book, John Maxwell, Fail Forward. I'm sorry. So when you fail forward, you got to look at mistakes. You got to look at situations different. You can't look at a mistake or something happening in your life as over. I'm down. No, take that situation and say, you know what? I want to go through many more mistakes to better me. I want to go through hard times to better me. Because if you don't go through the hard times, you won't be able to enjoy the process. So I'm going through a process. Even now today, I'm sure you're going through something that you can tell somebody to better their life, right?
I think we all have our own processes that we're going through, and I think it's about enjoying the process too, right? Because progress is not linear, okay? It is up and down, back and forth, and there's a lot of things that we have to, you know, try to overcome.
That's true.
But you just got to enjoy the ride, right? That's part of growing. That's part of becoming, you know, a good person, a better professional.
That's when you find out the better you and find out who you really is as a person.
Of course.
Success comes when you overcome the bad, trials and tribulations. That's when success comes. It's not about money, the house and stuff like that. It's about who you become and show someone else, right? Show someone else how to be a better person. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you also learned a lot of things from the previous event. But I have a question. So what is one thing that you know for a fact you've applied into your life and that you've paid it forward to other professionals that you've met?
Being a servant. Be a servant. Serve people first, and the world, the universe is going to give it back to you. Got to be about serving.
Yes, I'm here for it. And thank you so much for your feedback, for your kind words.
Thank you.
And also for the advice that you gave to all those other people, because I think we all need someone to, you know, empower us to do better and believe, right?
Got to believe.
Awesome.
If you don't believe, nobody else will.
Exactly. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, guys, we're going to be giving more details later on, but remember to stay connected. We're going to be interviewing more people and getting more feedback as well. So you definitely want to hear what's going on inside the event. So thank you so much and welcome to I Believe Experience. We are back once again. We're going to be asking a couple more questions, but before then, we're going to go over a little bit of the schedule of the event. 5:30 with Jared Wilskins and Damon Dillard. Moving on to 6, we're going to see Phoenix Fire Dancers that you definitely don't want to miss. That's going to be super fun. And at 6:15, we're going to start the I Believe in You with David Imonitie. Moving on to 8:50, we're going to continue to hear some talk with David Imonitie and Big Sean. Guys, Big Sean is going to be here at I Believe Experience, so you definitely don't want to miss this. So make sure you stay connected. And before we move on, we want to go ahead and get some people here to kind of hear what they have to say about last year's and this year's expectations. So welcome, and is this your first time being here at this event?
Yeah.
Yes?
For the Believe Nation, yeah.
And what actually brought you here? Because there's a lot of people that have already said they've been here last year. So what is it that you heard, maybe word of mouth or something that you saw online? What was it that brought you here today?
Well, I heard that David Imonitie, just the way he talks and inspires people and changes people's lives is just something that's life-changing, and I had to come out and experience myself.
Perfect. And are you a business owner? Are you an entrepreneur? What are things that you want to learn today in this event?
A couple things I want to learn is how to be able to lead people better and being somebody that they want to be able to follow, just like David Imonitie.
Yeah, and there was another person I interviewed not that long ago that said some leaders are made, maybe they're not born, but I think it's so important to know the tools first and know the basics. So speaking of leaders, what is the one that you're looking forward to seeing the most and you think you're going to learn about the most? David himself?
For sure.
Yeah, and I know that there's going to also be very empowering women like Michelle Williams today. So is that something that you're looking forward to?
Yes, I feel like as a
Can you
woman,
put the
we
phone a
actually,
little bit?
sorry.
There you go.
I feel like as a woman, we view things and the way that we speak a little bit different, and also our morals. So I would feel like the way that we attack things and also our problems and how we communicate things are very important, very differently than men. So I feel like seeing it from a different perspective will be super educational as well in our part.
I mean, being a woman myself, I definitely can relate, and I'm also looking forward to hearing the women that are leaders, because it is not easy for the woman out there nowadays.
Yes.
I know it's not easy
It's
for
more of a-
anybody, but for a woman, you know, it's a little bit different, the language and the things that, you know,
We're more
we have to go through.
soft-spoken.
Yeah,
And we're more
but
like,
I also think, you know, there's a sort of voice that we have and that we can connect in a way that, you know,
men can't.
we can. I mean, I didn't want to say that.
I'll say it for you, don't worry.
And what are some of the things that you would want to give advice?
Hasn't actually been in your life, right? If you haven't heard it over and over and over again, so it's stored up for those situations to come up, and then you go boom, and you're able to respond with the right words. Now, the next step that you talked about was being able to really show a lot of compassion, even though you are not emotionally connected to whatever that situation is. You're still able to show empathy and compassion, because sometimes people think, well, you're unemotional. No, it's not that I'm unemotional. I'm just making a decision not to allow whatever that situation is to control my state, right? But I still have empathy and I still have compassion for people that are dealing with whatever situation that is.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting, David, that you said that, because, you know, that's definitely an area that I've had to grow in, because I think that there was a time when I was on this, you know, quest, like, okay, Lord, I'm taking authority over my emotions. I'm making a decision that if it's not a good emotion, if it's not adding value to me, that I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to participate. And I think that I did, especially in the beginning, when I realized, oh, we have authority over our emotions. We can be happy people no matter what's going on. I think there was a season where I did have to learn that there's still the human factor, and I had to learn to still be empathetic, opposed to, you know, telling somebody, you know, you shouldn't be upset about that, or you shouldn't be hurt about that, but you can't tell somebody else how they feel. So I think it's important that as we grow and become emotionally intelligent and mature and all that, that when people aren't there, that we also have grace for them and understand that they're not there and how they respond. We can't expect everybody to respond like us. And I do think that, you know, once I kind of got that and I was like, okay, I'm strong, but I can still be empathetic and I can still allow myself to be vulnerable and authentic. And so that was one thing that I think TV really kind of taught me. Even now we're doing a show on Chatter. It's about to be picked up on OWN with me and Dee Dee Freeman and Real Talk Kim and Monique Mosley. But having those, being okay to like, listen, I can be super strong, but I can still be authentic and vulnerable so that I can connect with people. And so I think that sometimes people have to find that like healthy crossfade.
Yeah. You know, for me, the healthy place that I got to was, okay, David, what can I do about this situation? Right? So take what's happening right now with COVID, right? I said, okay, what can you do? Right? So we actually created some initiatives where we could help people actually get testing, maybe people that couldn't afford to get testing. So we had testing sites. So yeah, I'm still involved in it, but I'm not emotionally connected to the point where I'm allowing that disease to enter into my life. But you're still there to help other people that may be dealing with that situation. So, or maybe there's hunger, right? There was actually hunger. 50 million people are starving right now in the USA. I mean, when I saw those numbers, I was like, wait a minute. So what do we do? Okay, Thanksgiving, let's go ahead and donate 1,000 turkeys to 1,000 families. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm not emotionally connected to the hunger that's taking place. I'm now connecting myself to the point of saying, David, what can you do to bring about change? What can you do about this situation? I think if everybody really looked at it from that standpoint, that's taking the position of strength versus taking the position of being a victim, right? And I think that's very, very critical. You also talked about gratitude, practicing gratitude. That's one thing that we've learned from Bob Proctor every single day, writing it out in your gratitude journal. How have you utilized gratitude in your life or practice gratitude in your life to where you've got so much more in your life? I tell people that gratitude is the seed for more, and you live in such abundance. How has gratitude played a role in that?
Yeah, I think, it's so good. I think it's played a big role in that. And I think it also goes back to that emotional strength. Like, if you want strength, start just thinking about, everything that you have to be grateful for, because it's always going to be the next this, the next that. And that's great. But if you just get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm grateful, like right now, today. And it brings abundance to you. You think about it like this, you have 2 children and one child is always like, oh, it seems like it's never enough. They're entitled. They don't have a good attitude. But you got another child that's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You could have bought them some water, and they're like, thank you. So I think that it makes people, it makes God, it makes this earth respond to you like, let me just bring more to you because you're so grateful for what you already have. I was grateful when I had to move back in with my parents after going through a bad divorce. I was grateful that I had parents, and it got to a point where I grew. Then I was grateful that I was able to buy my first condo. And so I think just when I look at over the years that gratefulness, it really is a key to abundance, and it makes you a people magnet. People want to be around happy people. Nobody wants to be around somebody always complaining, always upset. So, it is. It's a magnet, I think, for everything that's good, everything that's extravagant, everything that's kind will come to you when you make up in your mind, yep, I need this to happen. Yep, I'm believing for this. But you know what? I'm grateful right where I am today.
I realized, Jewel, that a lot of people are not grateful because they're so focused on how they're going to go to the next level. So they lose out on what God has already blessed them with, and they're so focused on the how. And here's the challenge, and I actually just learned this today. You don't know the how, and you will not know the how until you've actually achieved it. Right? So the how is not your concern, right? What your concern is to want it, right? Is to say, this is what I want, to have the desire. Then your part is to now pray. Your part now is to now speak it. I'm so happy and grateful now. Then you've got to believe it. That means you've got to see it every single day. But the key is to receive it. And receiving is an act of gratitude, right? You give me something, right? Or you say, hey, David, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to tell you, if you tell me over the phone, I'm going to say thank you. Now, I may not have it physically, but I've already received it, in the spirit by saying what? Thank you. But I'm not worried about how is it going to get here. Is it going to get hit through FedEx? Is it going to get hit through UPS? They're going to figure that out. But they're going to get it to my front door. And that's where people need to understand the power of gratitude it's not that I've already received it. That's what makes me grateful. No, it's the fact that I know it's on its way. I know that I already have it. I don't have to have it in the physical form for me to actually start practicing gratitude right now.
That is so good, David. You know, I was thinking about your story a couple years ago. I think you shared it recently on a mentorship call. And I had actually not heard you go that deep into your story. And I was like, okay. But it did. It was like, it was so good because she was like, just understand, bro, didn't wake up like this. Like, this was a process. And you know what? I was right where you guys were. And I think that, you know, the higher level of success, it does. We have to remind people that, like, no, it was grateful. It was me being grateful and having an attitude of gratitude and being appreciative. Like, I try to practice that everything I get from people, I celebrate, right? If anybody, they'd be up here like, oh, thank you. Because the Lord taught me, he said, put all of your faith in me. And whatever people give you or don't give you, because nobody owes you anything, baby. You know what I mean? So whatever they do, just start appreciating it. And it helped me from going from somebody should have done this or somebody should have said this. Like, nobody have to do what you want them to do. Like, you do it. You become that change. And so you're right. I think that it frees humanity. It helps you love people right where they are. It helps you be grateful for people right where they are. Focusing on their gifts, their talents, not their flaws, because Lord knows I've done that before too. Right. But that's real growth. Growth is, you know what? I love you right where you are. I thank God for whatever you gave in my life, but ultimately, I'm celebrating whatever people give to me, and I don't expect anything from them and everything from God. And I think it's so liberating to live that way.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people, Jill, practice their losses. You know, that's one thing I just learned from you, is that people practice their losses and they don't focus on what they're doing right, because it's all about building emotional strength. If I'm practicing my losses and I'm replaying that over and over again, that's not putting me in the right state. You know, everyone has a strength. Everyone has a gift that God has actually blessed them with. So that's what you want to continue to work on. That's what you want to continue to magnify in your life. Julie, you've got a lot going on. You wear a lot of hats, right? How have you been able to balance? Because I know a lot of women out there, well, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I got my own business. How have you been able to balance all of that and really focus on what is working for you and really magnify that? Because I think right there, that has a lot to do with being able to manage your time wisely right there.
Absolutely. First of all, you're a really good interviewer, so you're giving me Dr. Phil and all of that. Definitely keep this going, okay? But I would say that I don't look for, like, my balance is going to be different from Susie Homemaker's balance. No shade to Susie Homemaker. Like, I don't get my balance from her, like, at all. I don't look to necessarily compare my balance to somebody else's. And I think if you're going to do that, you do have to look to other overachievers, because I'm not trying to be, and I do work to be a really good mom and a good wife and, all those things, but I can't expect, we've had to talk to our children about this. Like, we're not going to have that home that makes it to every field trip, makes it to every game. Now, I'm going to try to be at least 70%, but if I'm not there, I'll make sure, Nana's there, my granddad, my cousin, somebody's still showing support. But I can't look, and even in pastoring, like, I can't look at other pastors, because a lot of pastors feel like they can't do business, where I feel like it's a mandate for me. So I think it's important that you're not looking for balance. I don't know if balance is really like a real thing. I think that if you really want success, you got to understand that you're obsessed. Like, I have obnoxious faith, and my faith bothers people, and that's okay. And I'm not in balance to the normal person, but I'm in balance for me. You know what I mean? So I think you have to find out, what is that balance for you, and what are your goals? Like, what are the results that you're trying to achieve? Because sometimes people want all these lavish results, but it's like, you're too balanced.
Right. Too balanced.
Yeah.
I like what you said about obnoxious faith. I think that probably should be your next book. I like that obnoxious faith. That's the type of faith we all need to have. And that leads right into that last point that you share with me about really relying on God and not relying on people, right? Because I was telling some leaders the other day, I said, there was never a commandment for you to trust people. There was a commandment for you to trust God. The commandment was for you to love people, right? And I am, the word trust, I have now learned that it is the highest form of belief. It is the highest form of belief because trust is a firm belief in someone or something and its ability and it being reliable. And the only thing that you should put a firm belief in is God, right? It's not people, because people don't owe you anything. You can't have a sense of entitlement when it comes to people, and because people are always going to let you down, right? But also, there are going to be some people that lift you up. But you don't never really know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. But you know God doesn't change, right? You know that word, you keep speaking that word, and this is what's going to happen in my life, and this is what I'm declaring. We're declaring acceleration in 2021, acceleration of abundance and peace and love and happiness. I don't care what's happening.